who they know will have a significant likelihood to not actually make it to the game. Forfeits hurt fans and the league, and last-minute substitutions are not fair to their opponents who spent time preparing for the starting lineup. That will never materialize. So that will be TDK's bans for this week, and hopefully the roster can get righted as we continue the summer split next week.
Yeah, they submitted their main roster before the players had their visas actually acquired.
There's a lot of hope there, though. You know, coming into another week, wanting to use your players. I can see where that comes from, but it will penalize them.
If you will it, it will be so. Not so much with visas.
Try to manifest. It will not work. So we will definitely get some crazy champions in this one because of that. Kobe, Kalista, and Gragas are going to find themselves on the ban list.
Yeah, high likelihood of Ryze,
Alistar,
Echo, all kinds of things getting
Echo.
through. Who can hold the most OP picks?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Trying to decide.
Wait the timeout here for TDK as it ticks down, and Impulse will have their third ban. Quickly, the Ryze ban. As if they were confused that Ryze was going to be banned out here. Smiles on the faces, they know they have to go through this one with a bit of that kind of chip off the block of not being able to get anything out of the hands of Impulse.
All right.
They get what they want. Impact smiling about top lane. He knows what he's going to be playing this game.
Let's see what they jump on first. Impulse do have the first pick, so we're just waiting for that ban to time out. And they get whatever champion in the game they desire.
The Alistar, why not? Adrian, a very big Leona player, so he knows all about always being in the fight and being tanky.
That's interesting. I actually put him a little bit lower on the list of OPs.
Nope.
But we'll see how crucial that is.
What would you have reflected on for that first?
See, Echo. We'll see how that does reflect in their in-game strategy.
I don't know. I gotta say, I'm not sold on just the Echo. I feel like the team completely has to be on board. A really chaotic team fight from Impulse.
All right,
maybe,
well,
maybe it doesn't get locked in by Kez. Who knows?
On the backswing, their second round, I would actually like to see Impulse focus on that Sivir and try and get it early for Apollo from the bottom lane, just because it's such a crucial champion to the way that Impulse played the game. And they've already banned Kalista, so I feel like it's a fairly safe move to try and jump on that pick early. Kez opting for his famed Nidalee.
Yep. All right. Janna and Nidalee locked in here for Team Dragon Knights. Still leaving as many of the priority picks that have not been banned up here for Impulse. You can still go Rek'Sai, you can still go whatever you want in the jungle. XiaoWeiXiao still has that Echo open. It's going to be the LeBlanc and Apollo locking in the Sivir as well, keeping tried and true to that pick.
Yeah, what is Bischu going to run into LeBlanc? Because they basically wasted one of their priority pick options with Janna, who, you know, Alistar's she's a great pick. Janna is fine, but Alistar's already locked in. You know they're not going to grab that from you.
Yeah.
And Bischu would rather have the counter pick than opt for one of those early, strong, all-around picks like LeBlanc. With Zed getting that nerf, you know, there's not a lot of really, you know, hard counters or very strong counters into LeBlanc. So we'll see what he opts for this time around. He did have a very good Varus game. The Viktor needed a little bit of work, but we'll see how he does against XiaoWeiXiao. You know, you can laser through LeBlanc into the origin of her distortion to guarantee that you will hit the laser damage, but there's nothing you can do to stop LeBlanc's burst as Viktor. So you can try and shield yourself a little bit.
Viktor Lucian picked up on the side of Team Dragon Knights. Just kind of rounding out a composition of champions that they feel comfortable on, and you have to expect that. Even you said yourself, Kobe, these guys coming in at the last second, even Bischu is tweeting, whoa, I play Bjergsen this week now. I did not expect that. So tomorrow he has to do that. Today he has to face XiaoWeiXiao, and without any preparation against two of the most aggressive dudes in the mid lane, it might be a little difficult. Could see a Katarina on the other side. It's over. The crowd likes it. And we're waiting for the last two picks here from Impulse. Echo's made his way all the way down to pick number 7. Or let's say pick number 8, because it's 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, and of course, you know, the value that teams place on Echo will vary greatly depending on how much time people have put into it, or, you know, as Dominate went over, how much focus the team has on learning the new champions and getting on the avant-garde curve of League of Legends as quickly as possible. Well, here we are, the Lee Sin. Not exactly the forefront of the jungle meta, but it will be locked in to try and answer the Nidalee, and there's no huge tank on TDK locked in yet, you know, with top lane still an option for it. But Lee Sin right now, this looks like an okay game to run him into if you're going to run him in this meta. Not too many issues on the opposing team at the moment.
I don't put anything past Rush. This last season he was still, or rather last split, he was still playing the Warrior Vi whenever he wanted to, so he brings out what he wants. He does what he wants when he wants. Bard could be locked in here by Smoothie for TDK, possibly trying to make some plays in the team fights with that Tempered Fate and some magical journeys that will hopefully bring Team Dragon Knights to the victory here.
Yeah. Whoa, a Mundo versus Team Impulse.
Fortunately, it's not a top Bard. It's top Mundo coming in. It's going to be, like you said, against Impulse. A team that can definitely start to kind of pinch out anything they can find. Is that a diveable Seraph in the top lane? We do know Seraph has brought that Mundo from the Challenger Series on. It's something he likes to play, so it's not going to be that easy to take down if they do go for it. Back and forth here.
Not really a fan of the Mundo, especially against a team like Impulse. Impulse are all about rush, make an early move, we got a lead, all right, we have Sivir as well. Turn it into overdrive here, pop Sivir ultimates mid-game because we already have an early game lead, and end the game that way. Mundo has a hard time, you know, getting up to the tanky point that Maokai has a very easy build path into. Mundo is going to take a bit longer to scale up to that very strong tanky stage. We'll see if Seraph can do it. He will probably be going with the challenging Smite and Cinder Hulk build, which just further delays Mundo's power spike as it, you know, benefits all from the extra HP building that you build after your Cinder Hulk.
Well, hopefully they can stave off any of the fighting that we're going to see Impulse wanting to do, so TDK can get to that point, play a little bit of poke game with the Nidalee they picked up, and right now it is time to turn to the stuff. Your turn to stuff the ballot boxes, rather. Cannot speak. Hard to do. Vote for the team you think will come out on top by tweeting hashtag TIP win or hashtag TDK win to @LOL Esports, and we'll be tallying those up throughout the game. As always, we had a pretty good 50-50 vote earlier. That game played out exactly how we would have thought. Pretty 50-50. Now we jump into this one. We'll see what the vote is in just a few as Impulse tries to take down TDK here. 2-2 for Impulse. TDK looking for a win. The sub squad is trying to bring that out for them, but it's just been a difficult start to the season. Yeah, it truly has. And they've had some good showings in the early stages for a couple of their games, even though they have, you know, lost all 4 of the initial LCS games with the sub squad. They've made the early stages look fairly close for a while. That's always a good sign. High accuracy there from Kez. Yeah, already calibrated right out of the gate. Usually it takes a few. So we got Coinstar as well as the Adrian with the Relic.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Just see how much of a hand Apollo has with his team here.
That's why I keep highlighting the Sivir with the Team Impulse. And no surprise, they will
5
be
games in a
take
row
advantage
now.
of it this time.
They're always able to get it. Definitely a priority when they go through picks and bans here.
That's
Impulse.
every single game this split, by the way.
Impulse is very, very good at fighting, so why not give you somebody that can bring a huge amount of utility to that fight and speed everybody up. Also, usually has a pretty safe laning phase with Adrian.
Let's see here. Looks like
they're
they're
pretty easy.
Yeah, trying to finagle some early experience for Apollo. Stack up the saplings.
Very safe on both sides as well. So everybody getting what they want here without aggression.
They've just now revealed the lane swap. So that'll be fine. TDK going to be just fine with the lane swap here early. Group up, and they will have a freeze bottom, whereas Impulse do not have the option to freeze since they are taking the Gromp. They won't be able to get there in time. That means that TDK, they need to know and they need to count on the early shove from Impulse. We'll see if they can time it, because we saw earlier today such a great job of TSM in the lane swap to capitalize and try and cut off the reinforcements to that turret. Be the first one to teleport in Fog of War so the enemies don't know you're teleporting, to try and gain experience advantage from lane swap. So everybody should be on the same page. TDK freeze, Impulse push.
Yep.
Double jungles all around.
Did just see Adrian getting an eye on Seraph and Kez. We actually had Smoothie doing the same thing, but he did not see anyone. Still gives him information. Lets him know Impulse was all on the top side, and now that both teams know they're not getting that matchup, this freeze in the bottom lane could pay off here. They want to change it whenever they want, they can do so. Now slow pushing it in.
See if they have any plan here. TDK, at the moment, it doesn't look like they have any plan to defend or try and sneak into experienced top. So looks like the Dragon will be their option. Keep bottom frozen. Try and do the early Dragon. Nidalee and Mundo is a great combo to pull off an early Dragon with, but Rush is in the area, and it's still a very tricky objective to go for. Well, he recalled. All right, Impulse going to give it up.
Ever since Kez in Complexity, this was one of his true loves, the early Dragon. So looks like they go for it again. Kez is still on those comms as the main voice here, and he will call for an early Dragon with the sub squad. TDK pick up a 3 minute and 51 seconds there. And Impulse is trying to get this push down so they can get the lanes back matched up.
Suspect early movements by Rush, actually, in the lane swaps. He is a guy who took a long time to really get a handle on the lane swaps, and doesn't seem to be quite at home still. So lane swap against, or lane swap with that Lee Sin, ending up bottom side and not making any move to stop drag or go for the, or go to break the freeze, means that Impact's going to be out of luck there on the Maokai. He has no options. Rush just returns to try and farm the jungle.
A little bit of a dance game here. Adrian think he can route Seraph, but it looks like Apollo's already back. They definitely had a bit of miscommunication there. Adrian had a ping that said, "I'm going here." And Apollo was like, okay, go ahead. Now he tries to help him out. A little bit of added personal pressure there. Can't really do much to Seraph, but the bodies help. Power in numbers. It's a bit of a stop on Bischu's roam as Rush is taking down Crab in the mid lane. Actually, just a little bit of ward placement.
All right.
Mid lane, 33 to 28 here. XiaoWeiXiao knowing that he doesn't really have to move or go anywhere, so no problem for him. Just playing it calm. Missing CS, though. I can't say anything.
Maybe not so calm now.
It's 5 minutes in. I'd have about 20 by now.
So with TDK deciding to reverse, Impact finally gets some minions for himself. Very happy after that. Maokai can easily heal and AoE clear the wave. Let's see what Rush can do. Try and make some early game impact.
Interesting. They take down top turret, don't rotate Apollo down. They're kind of just leaving Seraph there to farm without a turret. But like I said, Adrian is still on that roam, making sure they have all the vision here to start shutting down Kez's jungle a little bit.
Yeah, it's actually very pertinent information that Impulse just gave away. They cleared that pink ward with multiple people. They did not have to do that. Not only did Rush blow his Raptor buff with going over to that ward, which was already revealed, but he also revealed his place on the map, allowing Seraph to stay in the top lane as Mundo without a turret, early stages of the game, very vulnerable champion with no flash, no escape summoner.
That's really good point.
And Seraph will be very happy. He wants to get through these early stages of the game as quickly as possible on his Mundo, build up his scaling items.
He's probably wondering to himself, why do I have a free lane right now?
Grab his minions as quickly as possible.
More than happy to be farming these up. Catches up in CS. He was down to about 8 previously with Apollo in his phase, so good cleanup here by him. Looks like a ping back. They think that Seraph may be doing some work on the Krugs. Just trying to keep tabs on everything right now. Kez, bottom control of the Scuttle Crab. We just saw Rush grabbing the top one here as they start to clear out these wards. Not as many forward wards this game. No Sightstone rushes from our supports or junglers here as we have in previous. So not as much movement into the jungle. Ooh.
Kez definitely has all of the auto attack resets down on Nidalee. Very quickly clear the ward. Gonna get some lane experience as well, and try and hold it. Wait till Lattman can return to lane. I just love that skin, by the way.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think we also may be getting a first blood here. Bischu goes very hard. He does not have the wards surrounding him just yet. He puts the Chaos Storm out, and it's not going to be able to find the right XiaoWeiXiao. He goes down. Great first blood for Impulse.
All right, Rush able to cash in on Lee Sin. Earn first blood for XiaoWeiXiao on the LeBlanc. That can get into a painful matchup. If the LeBlanc gets an early lead like that, it is again a bit of mind games around the laser placement, but Rush
flashes there, kick is in, distort, double distort, has to flash out as he uses the ultimate. Nicely done, and they thought they had some breathing room there, but instantly attacked again by Rush.
No breathing room.
Never.
Mid lane attack, XiaoWeiXiao plus Rush. Just want to keep on fighting. No Q landed, does not matter. XiaoWeiXiao only has to end up burning his flash in the end. And this is, LeBlanc.
All right.
Off to an early start.
Good aggression. Headbutt back here. Looks like the exhaust does go down. One teleport coming out. That's going to be Impact. Seraph's a little late. Both these guys are going to stop each other's. Nobody really wants it. It was just for the aggression.
Luckily for TDK, Seraph still able to farm decently. Wave pushed all the way up to his turret. But he is going to have to work to try and get some vision back. That lack of turret may become a problem if Rush decides to change his focus from mid lane. He's already gotten XiaoWeiXiao that LeBlanc lead that we talked about, making it a difficult matchup for Viktor. Having to play into a 2-0 assassin.
Yeah.
Pretty much any assassin is hard, but LeBlanc definitely.
And they're making sure that they do not let Bischu have any of those wards either. 3 in the hands of XiaoWeiXiao along with his sweeper, 2 in the hands of Rush. Making sure the wards are still money efficient, just not throwing too much into a side step. 6 seconds onto Dragon, and with that pressure back down to the bot side of Apollo and Adrian, I think they have a better chance at this one.
Oh yeah, already trying to make moves into the TDK jungle. Team Impulse should put that as a priority to get vision down on the red side jungle. Then they can really punish that lack of turret.
Yeah.
As of right now though, Dragon coming back up. See if that draws attention to the bottom side of the map. I don't think TDK should risk trying to steal it or go for a risky Dragon just because XiaoWeiXiao is so strong at the moment.
Everything always happening over pink wards today. Real high commodity. So they're going to back off for now. Get a quick push in this top lane by Seraph. I don't know how long he'll be able to stay up there without a teleport. Seeing Impact mid. Looks like they aren't going to get Dragon just yet. So all clean on that front. It looks like Impulse trying to push in a little bit more. You can see those forward pings from Adrian and the rest of the team saying, let's see if we can get in here a little deeper. Bottom turret should go down. Map opened up a little bit more here for Impulse in their 2-0 lead, along with 2K in the bank.
Yeah, all going according to plan. Lee Sin, early game gank from Rush.
Yeah.
Get that lead. Now we transition to the Sivir. Pop the Sivir ultimate.
Oh, what a kick from Rush. It would have been completely on point in hitting Lattman as well. Will they even have what they need to get out? He throws down the heal, but Kez's heal is not enough to keep Lucian alive. And a very pre-planned kill coming up there. 2 of them for Impulse.
Even if you know what to expect from Impulse, it's so hard to stop it.
Yep.
Lee Sin into Sivir, get another kill, turret down, see if they can get Dragon and defend mid at the same time. Yes, indeed, they can split resources. Minions collected as well as the Dragon.
Very nicely done. Impact for this turret still up, gets a good push on the wave. We're gonna have to call Seraph back to be accountable for that every so often. They're getting what they want across the map here. Like you're saying, the first kills onto Bischu and then onto Kez. A little bit of a whoopsie to give that to XiaoWeiXiao. Now 3-0-0, and he's already starting to roam. Bottom lane, he got himself that 3rd one. I don't know where he's gonna go next. Looks like he does have a back right now. spending 1,300 gold. So come back to lane even stronger, ready to put down those kills. This is a XiaoWeiXiao we're used to seeing, except he doesn't have 300 CS just yet.
Well, he does have a Soul Stealer, so...
Oh, man.
He's got a feeling for how the rest of this game is going to go.
He did just buy a Soul Stealer,
Yeah,
straight up.
They do have Sivir on Infinity Edge, so a couple more Sivir ults to chase people down. All they have to do is take out the last outer turret here, and they've got a free field to work with. Adrian could actually just go for a turret dive since he's Alistar.
A little too ahead of himself on that one.
Sivir not in the area.
Yeah, pings down towards the bottom lane still. You can see Adrian not afraid to keep cutting into that side of the jungle as well. They have more than one member there along with Rush for safety. And nothing can really be done about TDK. Yeah, they're pushed back, but their short path is through their base. They can't even go through their own jungle right now. So how are you going to guard these turrets one after the other? You're not. Good pushes here. Impulse waiting for another wave, and they should be able to make this one go down. XiaoWeiXiao on the rotate as well. Oh dear, oh.
What a
balls.
Perfect skin for Team Impulse. The constant boxing bell ring. They're ready to fight.
Fight!
Round 2, round 1, round 3, round 6.
Did you go back to 2 and 1?
Nobody wants to fight.
Is there an echo?
There's That's what happens when you play Team Impulse. Round 3, round 1. What? That's not it.
Remember this fight? So Sightstone finally finished up onto Adrian.
Round 1.
Allowing them to get themselves more into the jungle, more into these advantageous fights, and another kill going over to Kaz. He can't even be on the map long enough to add pressure himself or get to any of these lanes. Right down the mid here for Impulse. This should be another downed turret. All three, top, then to bottom, and now to mid lane methodically for them. And they have not died in the process of getting all this roam on and having everybody keep going back and forth. Now that the lanes did swap back, Impact has been there for a while, cleaning up Seraph's push in. But we also haven't seen Seraph waiting for that teleport to always be up and trying to just get that lane back in TDK's favor.
That's why I really don't like the Smite teleport Mundo into Team Impulse. Mundo doesn't want to be seen till this stage in the game. He's just built his Cinder Hulk. He's still scaling up. He wants to buy some health after that to really take advantage. He's definitely banking on that late game. Get a ton of health, magnified by Cinder Hulk, get his Thornmail. But I fear that it will be too little too late. The Impulse game, the high tempo style, is going all according to plan. We'll see if they can pick somebody off here, though. 3 members top to try and take down Impact.
See, they still have forward wards on the bottom side of the map, but they've kind of let them trickle away here in the top. Could give them a chance to move members in here. Now Smoothie and Kaz to take down Impact. No answer yet just from Impulse. They're still clearing wards around the map, but safe play from Impact does not let that gank in the top lane happen. And again, TDK are kind of left with nothing. They didn't really expend too much for that, but they're definitely not using their resources to get these waves pushed in the way that they want. Just soaking them up. Lattman in the bottom, 137. 140 over on the side of Apollo. Is Lattman still looking to finish those 4 items?
Yeah. Impulse, one of the teams best equipped to take out substitute squads, actually, with their style of play, just to try and snowball a couple early kills. Cross map move here up to the top side. He's even got the Krug Smite bonus to get a big chunk out of the turret on his first hit. Rush, though, as usual, looking for kills instead. Wants to ambush somebody. No one from TDK takes the dangerous route through the jungle. And then will be defense as usual. Janna's shield assisted turret. They might be able to hold on here. 1-1-3 though from Impulse on the bottom side.
Just trying to draw a fight in my head for TDK here. Not much of it does damage across the board. If you're going to get ulted out, that's the disengage. Lucian ulti is just, after that point, going to be walked around. I feel like Viktor has to get a perfect Chaos Storm here because you're not really looking at too much damage other than that.
Yeah, not too much against TDK or the subs they're using. These guys had very, very short notice.
Absolutely.
They didn't even think that they would be back this week. And they're trying to make do. with the scenario. 4 members of Impulse, though.
He misses both chains, but I still think they have enough damage to follow up on that one. He finishes it off with possibly a Sigil, or one of the last distortions he was still able to hit. They keep moving through. Wow, Lattman taking a huge hit there, I believe, from the end of the laser. XiaoWeiXiao still moving up. The blue buff is on, so he can easily take somebody out if he gets that chain into chain. The team's only going to want the turret. Good on them for not going too hard there. Team Impulse playing very methodical. Here's XiaoWeiXiao once again, though. Always trying to get in that last bit of damage. Last say in the fight. This dragon's up in 5. That will be theirs. And 3rd dragon of the game. I don't think TDK is actually going to get themselves in this spot too much more here. Impulse with a very nice lead. Knowing how to control it. That's another one of the hard things that comes out as well, is when you're on that sub-squad, is not everybody's kind of reacting to the calls the same. You're not positioning the same before the calls happen, so yeah, it only makes it harder. Things start to compound.
This actually could be a very cathartic exercise for Team Impulse.
Yeah.
To play a game by the books. Some solid pickups here. 7-0. I do not see them giving up a kill unless it's Rush.
It would be Rush.
He is going damage. He is going.
Oh yeah, he did. See,
well.
There's more damage.
Hex Drinker counts as a semi-defensive item, so he's protected against the Bischu damage.
At least he thought about it. Nobody can really toy with XiaoWeiXiao in the bot lane. This now spreads out to what Impulse used to do.
They don't have Ignite, so it'll take a while.
Oh, of course.
Janna might be able to save Seraph.
Well, this is the thing. Now you have XiaoWeiXiao in the bot lane, as we were saying, whether he's on the Yasuo or the LeBlanc in the past.
Nah.
All right, all right. Come on. Ring the next bell, Rush. Gotta get him down. Adrian stopping Kaz from making. Oh, he serves him up on a dish. Kaz able to jump off the table real quick. Knows he shouldn't be there. And they get out of this one alive. So good kill. Focus on to Seraph. He is a pretty tanky guy. Wonder what happens when that has the rest of TDK to kind of add in enough damage. I don't know if it'll be enough.
Yeah.
At least it'll be a long fight. They'll have the chances. The windows are open. However, very close to being shut on their fingers as well. TDK's got to step carefully here. They're already losing resources. The blue's going down. Bottom lane's going to be a nice split, whether it's actually both XiaoWeiXiao and Apollo here, it looks like. And TDK, a lot of things to do. A lot of things on their plate. It's going to be a multitasking extravaganza coming up for them.
Oh, yeah. Their next opponent doesn't get any easier. They have to play TSM tomorrow.
Yep.
It'll be a rough one as well. Ooh. Yeah, maybe they should play Bard and Echo for maximum crowd enjoyment.
Hell yeah, I like it. Let's see how TIP finished this one out. Could be a catch right here on the Lattman that he is not expecting.
Oh, yes.
And 3, 2, 1. Oh, it. Oh, got him.
Ding, ding. Keep fighting, guys. XiaoWeiXiao always likes to fight.
Well, Talisman of Ascension goes off. Actually, Rush gets hit. He gets marked. Kicks back. Kaz dodges the Howling Gale as well to keep himself moving around. Not crowd control whatsoever.
Impact, they lose a man.
Impact putting up the tree wall here. Here comes Apollo. Now on the hunt is delivered to the rest of the team. He can activate that wherever he wants, and the team gets it as he approaches. Chaos Storm not able to follow enough targets. Bischu's found in the back line. Impulse is just getting everything they want in these fights, and I swear somebody's wishing they had an Ignite on that side, but they don't.
Yeah, Rush doesn't care about a deathless game. He doesn't care about. Well, it's not a perfect game because TDK did get a dragon, but they haven't given any turrets or any kills.
Well, that was a 3.5-minute dragon pretty much. And
yeah.
Tip also took top turret because of that, so they could get those lanes matched back up, make it harder and harder. But you are correct. They have not been able to get any more dragons on the side of TDK. Now looking at about an 8,000 gold lead and an Ardent Blaze to say, get off my lawn.
All right, 12 pages currently for XiaoWeiXiao.
Yeah, 12 on that Magi's.
Lattman able to dodge the LeBlanc damage, but not the Lee Sin in his face.
That's just one of those games where you flash in your own jungle thinking it's safe and you still see more opponents.
All right, here we go.
Impulse is just everywhere.
Oh, he kicked him back out of the hop. That was a good,
right after the mark.
Able to avoid some damage there. His Hex Trigger was popped as well, so when he goes back in on Viktor. This is without Hex Drinker. You're thinking, oh yeah, it wasn't that risky of a play. He's got Hex Drinker.
Flash.
Does not. Flashes out of the ultimate and then comes back in just because it's ingrained in him. Woo. You need that kill to carry.
And spears are not doing too much to him now. Kaz just tickling. Two looks like
a lot of skill shots there, Rush.
Eating them though. Very aggressive push to this top lane with the shield still being on it, but I don't know if TDK really wants to stay there too much longer. Impulse actually gives them a little bit of breathing room. They are still respecting TDK a bit in these fights, knowing that they don't want to go down in a poor fight situation or
Righteous Glory pops.
erroneous engage.
Seraph is at the point that he could stand on the front line for quite a while.
Yeah.
Rely on Janna shields on the turret to deflect most of the damage. And TDK,
He's had a rough game.
putting up the barriers. Trying to hold on.
Piecing together everything he can to try and be a tanky Mundo after that skirmish with Saber. Close to the Spirit Visage, has his Cowl. Adrian and the rest of the team making their way in. TDK almost has to start giving these things up if they don't just straight up take the fight.
Kez smited. I think that was a purple smite. Yeah. Kez got it. Quick fingers. He has been accurate with Nidalee. So there's that.
So much to think about. They can never be in a safe spot here. Kaz taking a bit of damage there we saw from XiaoWeiXiao, who was on the other side of the map, who Tip is actually letting those lanes get pushed just a little bit. A good fight here from TDK could actually reposition them, not give them too much back in this game. They still got turrets to drop, which could play into a bit of global gold that they do require. It's going to be very hard to get past the fights that will get them that gold, though. Impulse is just way too ahead, and they're showing strength in each fight with no hesitation on engaging.
These games just make me so curious what TDK will look like when they do get their main roster in. Since they've been spending so much time practicing with those guys, are they even trying to pull off the same types of games with the sub-squad, or are they just letting everyone pick whatever champion they feel they're most comfortable with in lane?
I mean, that's got to be the most comfortable. You can't rack your brain trying to get an entirely new squad to do, you know, blue 42, run the strat, right? That's going to be a little bit difficult to do that throughout the game, especially in tight moments.
Because I want to see a team really utilize Mundo and make it a huge threat, but I have not for a long time. So I'm very interested to see if, you know, TDK, when they get their main squad, because Seraph will, of course, be staying on the roster, one of the guy the team was built around. If they do stick with picks like this, but just work around it.
And what's the possibility of a team that works together well when you do get that 4-minute dragon on the board, when you do have a bit of a lead and control over the other person's jungle? It'd be a lot different once that's all been organized for the same 5 guys over a long period of time. Here, you're kind of just winging it, building the plane while you're flying it.
Plane not in such good shape right now.
It's all right.
Where's the instruction manual?
They can glide for a long time even if the engine's shut off, so we got a bit here for TDK. 12:0, 26 minutes on the clock. It's not going to be long, though. Looks like that airstrip is quite close here for Impulse to be landing on. Inhibitor's going to go down. They don't even have second tier in the mid lane pushed down yet. So now once this super minion wave starts pulling people from TDK down to the bottom, it's going to be so much harder for anybody to clear that top side. Seraph saying, get this wave out of here. At least push it to the turret. We got to get something out of this.
Luden's Echo. LeBlanc wave clear. Nope. Fun to watch. Are you one of the guys that throws away the instruction manual as soon as you open whatever you're trying to build?
Only until I have to take it apart because I did something wrong. And then I pull it out of the garbage.
I enjoy just throwing it away and trying to work it out. But you don't throw out the trash. You keep it there just in case you have to go diving for it if you really get stumped.
This is true.
All right, well, let's see if it works around
fundamentals. Well, Spears didn't actually tag rush. You can see his health bar is still full, and he can just actually leave it up to XiaoWeiXiao to defend on the other side. Holy Smoothie's HP smoothly going down there.
Next up.
Just one after the other. Sigil into Ethereal Chain.
Sigil for you. Sigil for you.
Sigil for you, everyone. A try by Lattman to get close enough. I think he got headbutted over by Adrian, put in a real bad spot, cooked up, and served to the rest of Impulse here. We'll see how this Mundo does. XiaoWeiXiao going real hard. Seraph's going to wait for the Ignite to wear off and then use what he can to get back up here. Throws on the ultimate, but it's going to be a lockdown to XiaoWeiXiao. Take him from 1 million to 0. No, he does not. He actually goes for Kaz. He says, just kidding. I want your Nidalee. And now they've kind of not had enough focus to continue the fight. Impact knows that they still want the Mundo. They take him down. He's not going anywhere he pleases. 15 to 0, 20 minutes in, only one outer turret stands here for TDK, and I don't even think Impulse is going to have to take that down to get to the Nexus.
That'll do it here. And inhibitor turret going to go down very easily.
Yeah.
See if they can finish off the Nexus afterwards. 7 seconds on Bischu. That might be enough to dissuade Impulse. And it is. Bischu back up. Gonna have to wait for round 2 from Impulse. 2 inhibitors down. Baron buff. Should be the final march.
Oh boy. Everybody's mid lane clear and side waves are crashing in right now for TDK. At Seraph and Bischu, no worries. They're back to clean it. But you can see flash over Lattman in the pit. That's not exactly what he wanted.
Ding ding. Rushes on the hunt.
Continue fight.
Hey, yeah, let's follow Rush. Where's he going?
And it's not even
he dodged one.
Not even that chaos or chaotic. Impulse going exactly where they want. They stopped that pressure towards the Raptors immediately. Started heading to the top side, knowing that this would pay off much more.
There's Apollo and Impact. Sivir ult plus Righteous Glory. Arriving.
That just tickles now. Oh! Whoa! He hit the chain? And another chain!
And another chain.
And another. What a play from XiaoWeiXiao. I blinked.
That's definitely going to be the game. The skill shot.
Ooh.
Never mind. It doesn't matter.
See you later, Bischu. He goes down. 40 seconds for the death timers now on the clock. That is also going to be Lattman getting hit up. XiaoWeiXiao just gigantic this game. And you have to actually be kidding me. If he does not get another kill, XiaoWeiXiao will have the exact same score that he got against Cloud9 last week. 8-0-5 LeBlanc to win the game.
20 stacks this time around.
20 stacks as well. XiaoWeiXiao repeating history. Wow. Very nicely done. Guess that just fits the bill for him.
Yeah, they're happy with the execution there.
Very happy indeed. XiaoWeiXiao can now go to his true love and take a nap. Always hear him in the mic checks. I kind of just want to sleep. Just want to sleep. Well, you put your opponents to sleep, and you can do that faster yourself. What a game here. One of the final weeks. Hopefully the TDK does have to use the sub squad. We're not expecting much out of them, but hopefully they are still able to grow in their scrims, able to grow with the original and main 5 that they want to bring to the LCS stage.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of this really early days of League of Legends before even Season 1, when if you get to the top of the MMR, then there are only a couple of pre-mades actually playing. GG's pre-made of Koreans was the #1, and if you got in that game, there was like very little hope. So everybody just picked a single champion for themselves to try and feel good about themselves and to perform well on individually. Just try and have a strong individual performance.
Right.
Feels like it's trending that way for TDK now.
Yeah.
They just want to, the subs just want to pick their favorite champion and try and, make one play to have an impact here on the stage.
Right.
Make a showing for themselves.
Well, as much as we see and hope that, TDK is going to rise with this new roster and be able to put up wins, you can see how much it still affects the team there. The coach with Seraph, the condolences of the match, and it was not easy. They didn't
that was
they were pushed in everywhere. Everything they tried didn't work, so you go to make calls, the calls don't work. You kind of reflect on that, and you don't want to make too many more calls. Paulo with the smile on his face, another Sivir game for him. 5 in a row, another victory coming in for Impulses. They are 3-2, 0-5 now for TDK as they start. It seems like there's always one team as you enter a split that is plagued by this, plagued by paperwork or something that kind of hits them in the rear end they're not used to, and you don't see them flourish right in the beginning.
Yeah, Always sad to watch a team try and work through that.
Right.
Next,
You work so hard
next
to get
weekend,
here.
though.
Work so
Next
hard.
weekend.
Yeah, because we were
Fingers
saying
crossed.
TDK has TSM tomorrow. That's going to be even more difficult. Bischu was saying on his Twitter, he's like, wait, I played Bjergsen this week. I didn't expect to be playing at all. So it's not a solo queue matchup there. Bjergsen has everybody behind him. Yeah, have fun. Here you go. Great stuff coming out of that game. And we're going to throw it over to the analyst desk to see what our